Hey everyone, my name is Tashit, and this is the Trend Coach 2026. It's a project focused on decoding YouTube virality using real 2026 and previous historical trending data. So the main idea behind this project is simple. A lot of content creators struggle to understand why some videos perform really well, while others don't. It often feels random. So what we wanted to do is take real data from trending videos across multiple countries and turn it into something useful, not just for analysis, but something that can actually guide as a creator while they're planning content. So the problem we're addressing is that small content creators don't have clear guidance on what actually drives success. Things like titles, timing, engagement, they all matter, but there's no simple way to understand how and when. Because of this, success on YouTube often feels unpredictable, and it's much harder for small content creators to compete with larger ones who already understand what works. So instead of relying on guesswork, we wanted to create a data-driven way to guide decisions. To do this, we use the 2026 trending dataset, which includes around 178,000 videos across 11 countries. From this data, we engineered several useful features. For example, title length, whether a title includes number of questions, number of tags, and engagement metrics like likes and comments per 1,000 views. One important thing we also did was compare videos within the same country and category rather than globally. This is important because what works in one region or niche might not work in another. So here we see our first major insight. The graph shows median likes per 1,000 views by country. And as you can see, there is a big variation by country. No universal strategy works everywhere. So creators should optimize for their target audience based on the country they're in, not the country they're aiming to, attract. So to make it more practical, we zoomed into a more specific example, which is, gaming videos in the US. So the first graph shows distribution of title length, and we can see a title of around 7.5 words per minute is like the most common. And usually if it's the most common title, then usually it's the one that is being pushed into the algorithm, and it's the one being more, the more famous one. And the second graph shows 1,000 views, likes per 1,000 views, which is our engagement metric. The distribution is heavily skewed, and the average likes per 1,000 views is only around 25 or 30. And if it is at like 250, then it's really a lot. It's a lot. Same as the videos are amazing, but you would name for that. So what this tells us is success isn't random, and high-performing videos tend to follow certain patterns, especially in how they present it. So things like structure, title structure, and format actually do matter, even if they don't guarantee success on their own. Based on these insights, we built our main idea, which is the trend coach. This is a simple tool that takes in a country, a category, and a proposed video title. It then compares the title against real 2026 trending patterns for that specific segment. The output is a score out of 100 and a few simple suggestions. For example, it might say your title is shorter than typical high-performing videos. You suggest adding a number, etc. I'll just show you that demo. So this is our Python notebook. We ran the code, everything, etc. So we are just directly importing from Kaggle. So there's an API token that you input when you first run the code, and it'll import all the data. And then once you run, we have these metrics, we have these graphs, etc. And then in the end, we just ran a small demo, which is this. So it's basically a title that a user wants to tweet. So 10 pro tips to run faster in 2026. User category is US, gaming is the category, and then our project basically tells you the word count, the benchmark word range, how much it should be in between, and the score out of 100. And it also gives us suggestions like, the title length is within the typical training range. That's all from today. Thanks so much.